Good morning. Welcome to Website Royalty. This is the Kajabi support for you. I'm Kim White, and I am here with the findability queen, Denise Millay. We are excited to be with you on this beautiful Friday morning and would love to set the stage and set the tone for this live stream. So you've gone out into the ethers and you've gotten yourself an email list and you're working really hard on it. And then all of a sudden you get notice that now you've got to cross over and pay this big fee monthly in order to keep using the tool that you have. Well, we want to talk about that this morning. A little spicy around here, but how Kajabi is an all in one platform that includes all your email CRM things, and that migration process does not have to be intimidating if you decide to go with something that is an all in one. We love Kajabi. We've gone from raving fans to raving affiliates. We probably sound like broken records if you've been listening to the website royalty, but we want to make sure you know like why we're doing this and why we know what we're talking about. I've been on Kajabi for more than a decade. Denise has been on for multiple years. And I don't know if I've mentioned this part, Denise, but all of our clients are on Kajabi. That's
Wow.
another big piece of the puzzle. So we have lots of experience with many different industries and many different aspects of using Kajabi to set you up for success in business.
Absolutely. And we've jettisoned the other platforms that you had to crazily link together and do all these crazy things because the headaches they bring are not worth it, and they end up costing the same, if not more, when you put them all together. So I have to say that I officially jettisoned working for people that use some of those things because um, it's hard to keep up and it's hard to let yourself be frustrated on the regular with some of those things when you can work for Kajabi people and do Kajabi things that are a little easier, so or a lot easier.
I have to say I'm ruined by Kajabi because I can't deal with the others anymore. Like, let me say that. But I do want to put right out of the gate because we're just upfront about things. Some people wait to the end to tell you things, and we're going to go right to the beginning and let you know that we are Kajabi affiliate partners. So if you sign up for Kajabi using our link, we are an affiliate. You don't pay anymore. Kajabi, is our we have partnered with them, so we get paid through them. Want to say that right out of the gate because we don't want anyone to think this is a sales pitch the entire time. We love Kajabi, period. That is why we're here. That is why we want to talk about it. And it does take the hard out of doing a lot of the website things, community building,
Absolutely.
podcasts, blogs, products,
Products, yes,
courses. We
do
can go on
everything.
and on.
As we have previous episodes, so please go back to those and catch up on all that fun stuff. Yeah, we'll give you the details about the offer later, but just so you know, we're
Yeah.
starting out. Roll. Is that you beeping?
It's the train. I love it.
No, I forgot you have a freight train. I forgot.
We have a train near us and we love it.
Oh, that's so cool.
So let's get into today's down and dirty of what we're going to talk about for Kajabi. If you haven't already subscribed, be sure and subscribe to the channel because Denise and I are going to be doing lives about different topics over the next few weeks. But today, we're going to be talking about migrating your email list to Kajabi, transferring contacts, making sure you have your tags, making sure you have your segments of your list, making sure you've got the statuses of your subscribers, all the things that go into building relationships through like email marketing is what I'm going to say, Denise.
So I guess we should pull apart migration into there's multiple pieces to that on your previous platform. And we all started there. Let's say that is we all started with the free version of something to get our business going, right? Because you don't pay for these things until you have to. And now if you're at that threshold where you're going to have to start paying for it, here's what you've got to do. You have to get the list of people that you're currently sending to with all that information you have on them into Kajabi as a contact. And then you have to not worry, but think about what templates you had that you were sending out as emails or different kinds of things you were sending. And then you would want to create that in Kajabi. So there's two pieces. Today we're going to talk about getting the people in there, getting the list itself, right? So shall we share? How do we start this, Kim?
I think so.
I think
And,
that would be the thing.
and we want to speak to the fear of doing this. This is one thing that I will suggest, and maybe I will say this differently than most, but I believe in slowing down to speed up. And one of the slowdowns is get this transferred into Kajabi before you kill or delete whatever you're using now. You don't have to do it in an instant, and this is something I feel like is very important to make sure everybody hears us
Mm-hmm.
loud and clear about that. Get these pieces that Denise is going to share moved over. It doesn't hurt your other list. You're going to be able to do that in steps
Mm-hmm.
instead of thinking that in 5 minutes you have to have all this done and then being
On the very last
overwhelmed.
day.
Yeah.
On the very last day before you have to pay for it. And not that we've experienced the stress of that at all in our lives for anything.
And I
So
will
maybe
say,
that's
Denise is teasing.
our experience. So maybe we're trying to help you avoid that stress.
Yeah.
So this is the dashboard that we all start on when we go into Kajabi. And today we're going into the contacts area over here on the left. And you're going to go to all contacts. And you'll see right away that there is a button here that says import contacts. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
And if you click on that, you can upload a file or you can copy and paste rows um, from like if you a CSV, it says upload any CSV file that is comma separated values. Let's talk about on your other platform, whatever it is, there's an export function that you're going to have that you can always export your list into a spreadsheet. And the type of spreadsheet you want to use is this CSV, and it'll actually have like name, comma, email, comma, that's comma separated values. And that's what this wants to pull your things in. And I'm sure if you go to the help function on your platform you're coming from, you can figure out how to do that. And you export your list and then you import it here by uploading it. Now, let's say you have one that's got too many things and some you want to get rid of, and you've highlighted some you want to keep and some you want to go. Well, that's what this copy and paste from file is you only want to take a copy and paste section and upload it. So that's as simple as it is, actually, is you upload the file and say go, and it pulls it in. Did you have anything you wanted to add, Kim?
I just want to say that when the first time I ever imported a list, I was a little overwhelmed because CSV, I didn't even know what that meant. I had to look it up and that kind of stuff. But most of the email tools, you actually have the ability, if you go into your account settings, it's usually somewhere like that. You'll find where it says export CSV file. And
Right.
so it can be just as simple as that. I just don't want somebody to get overwhelmed thinking, oh my gosh, I've got to learn how to do something else. It really is as simple as go give it the directions.
Hmm.
It gives it to you, and then you put it in here. You
Right.
do have the ability in Kajabi to, I'm going to call zhuzh it, where you can, like Denise said, you can clean up your list. You can do things that you need to as you're importing them.
Hmm. Hmm.
You can put it all in there and then clean it up. You can
Right.
put it in there in pieces, either one. But don't let that intimidate you, because anything you're learning new, anything you're learning in a new way, it can be overwhelming, and I just want to speak to that because
Please.
I'm easily overwhelmed when I'm looking at something that feels very, big. And
Mhm.
this doesn't have to be big. Get your things transferred in there, and
Mhm.
then wait a minute. Like hold on just a minute before you go to the next thing so that you can get a good night's rest, or you can, recover from that first part. I feel like that's a piece of the human part of us being business owners, is sometimes we forget we're not superheroes, and we want to just do everything in 5 minutes, and I want to caution you with that, because you can make mistakes, you can cause yourself harm, you can frustrate yourself unnecessarily by just trying to do it too quickly.
And this is one of these things that, trust me, I spend my life trying to make things simple because this shouldn't be scary. But I know that a lot of us, myself included sometimes, have a habit of beating ourselves up when we don't know something. So as we attempt these new things and things happen and we don't get it, or it doesn't work right, or we hit a road bump, the first thing we do is hit ourselves with the baseball bat, So
Mhm.
what you gotta do is put that baseball bat away and just say, "Well, whoever explained it to me, maybe I didn't read enough, or maybe they didn't explain it very well, so let me find another place to get the answer." And that's something that you have to let yourself, you didn't learn this in school. Nobody said, "Hey, here's what a CSV file is, and import your contacts, okay? This is how you do it." So if you'd learned it in school, you'd be like, "Yay, I know how to do that." But we didn't, so now we have to teach ourselves, and so soapbox away, but give yourself a break and grace and space.
And none of us are born knowing this stuff.
Right. But now what you can do is, you know how on this screen, Kim, excuse me, that I was showing you. How was I showing you this? Oh, so sorry. I had to close it up. So where it says copy and paste from file, you could always do like 4 or 5 contacts, copy 4 or 5 contacts from your CSV file and try it and see how it comes out, to see if you missed something or see if it worked, if to make you feel more confident before you do the whole list, right?
We've
Uh, Go ahead.
we've done lists. Well, I just want to make sure everybody knows we've done lists of as few as 10 people, and
Mhm,
we've done lists with thousands and thousands of contacts. So it's still the same process. You
mhm,
still have to get those names in. You still have to make sure that your Kajabi CRM part knows that these are subscribers to your list. And I'd like to address that really quickly, Denise, of if they have subscribed to your list and you change tools, they
mhm.
still are subscribed to your list, even though it's a different place that that list is going to live.
Right,
So you don't lose your things you have built whenever you're transferring these things. You still have permission to send them emails if they signed up to your list. You're just changing how it's delivered.
right. So then the other thing to know is the things you have to have for Kajabi when you bring it in, because some platforms require different things. For Kajabi, you have to have a name and you have to have an email address. And that's the basic that you must have in this file for every person. So if you just have an email and you don't have their first and last name, then you're going to have to put a placeholder in there in the file for them, or it won't create the contact well enough. So you have to make sure you have a name. Then, Kim, we're showing this new contact here to show some of the things that you can do. And the adding tags is the important thing that we wanted to do here, because that's how you can set up, indicate that these all came from a different place. Because eventually you're going to start adding more to this list through Kajabi. So you want to know which contacts, where they originated from. So you might create a tag that says from XYZ mail, so that you know that this contact came in to you way back when you were using that tool. So at this point, you would in your file, you would indicate that you wanted to put a tag. There'd be a column for tags, and you'd put that tag in there so that that contact would say from XYZ mail. You can
And
also go ahead.
well, I just want to speak really quick in case you're not used to tagging. Tagging is just a way to tell you directions and the automations that you use directions of not only where these people came from, but maybe you want to send an email to everyone who came from that other platform that, hey, we're excited, we're on Kajabi now. So we just want you to know that that if something looks different, it's we're doing something great here.
Mhm. We've
That's a
moved,
way to
right,
use a tag.
right, and this thing here, you can indicate in a column in your exported file, in your CSV file, that you want all these people to be subscribed to marketing emails because they have opted into your list previously, or they've given you the indication they wanna hear from you. If you don't indicate that in your file, then Kajabi's not gonna send out broadcasts to them. So, Kajabi only sends out broadcasts to those that have subscribed or you've indicated have subscribed. So, that's a very important piece that you have to do.
Well, and we'd like to tell really quickly why, because Kajabi is protecting all of us. Kajabi protects us from ourselves sometimes because it's not legal to
Mhm,
send out marketing emails to someone like that you're sending every week to your list if they have not actually subscribed to your list. It goes against, I think it's a GDPR. It goes against several things, and you don't want to get in trouble. So Kajabi protects us from our own selves sometimes. If it is not clicked, that means you're saying that they did not subscribe. So you always want to look and make sure if they did, you want that clicked.
mhm,
We have lists, just to give you like living examples. We have lists of people who want our every Sunday. Adam sends out a weekly rewind of everything that went on in our community.
mhm,
That's one set of emails. We have a list of emails that actually they don't want to get that email. They don't want the weekly kind of emails, but
mhm.
they want to know when something's coming up that pertains to them. So we
Right,
have segments that we give the update of when the next vision board party is,
right.
or we give them an update or whatever, but we don't send them the weekly emails. We have others who want anything and everything we send out. Like,
Right.
so we don't want to send emails to someone who does not want them because that's like, you know, a neighbor who won't stop coming over to visit when you're busy.
Yes.
That's how I think of it.
And we wanna use the word that is used in the world out there as spam. You don't wanna be a spammer, and,
Mm-mm.
um, you know, your email address that you use to send things as a business owner, as a marketer, has a reputation as a sender, believe it or not. And so there's a history of how you behave with that email address to tell programs whether your emails are trustworthy.
Mm.
So if someone has like a spam filter on their email, this indicates why it goes in the spam folder and why it stays in the inbox, right? So your reputation impacts the treatment of your emails out in the wild. So if you treat your email list with respect and you only send to those that tell you or that have bought from you or that you've interacted with, then you're protecting your reputation as well as protecting their inbox. So this sounds like we're preachy, but just so you know, there's more to it than just whether you decide to send it to somebody or not, because it
Mm.
I don't even want to use the terminology, but there are ways to find out, but you could be like blacklisted and
Mhm.
put in spam forever if you just send out willy-nilly to anybody's name that you get. So if you buy a list and you send out cold emails that people you've never met before, it's a questionable thing as to how that's gonna impact your reputation online as a sender. It used to didn't matter as much, but it matters way more now, now that there's more security, there's more filtering, there's more everything. So, you do have to protect your people's privacy and your business reputation.
And I'm glad that protection is there, because this is one thing I will tell you. If you're in someone's inbox who despises you coming into their inbox, you're interrupting their stuff. What is the likelihood of you being the one they want to do business with? Like, there are some things, and I do understand ads, and I do understand, sending out emails. I will send an email out to someone if someone says, if Denise told me you really need to meet this person, and Denise doesn't have time to do the formal, here, I want to introduce you. I'm not shy. I may send an email out, but it's a personal email, not an email broadcast, not an email blast, not something I would send out to, 5,000 people on my list.
Right.
I would not do that. And I think that that's a big difference, is if you are treating people the way you want to be treated, do you want everyone to show up in your inbox who just wants to be in there? Because it drowns out the ones you really want. So be irresistible when it comes to your email list. Do something to get people on your email list, from being irresistible instead of creepy. If I'm creeping into your inbox because I bought your name somewhere, that does not feel good. So I am just, we'll try to get off our soapboxes about that, but that's something that we really believe strongly in our community and in our businesses,
Mhm.
that irresistible works. Creepy, not so much.
And there are some mail list managers, softwares, things that aren't as, guarded for you when they send things out. Um, so that's just something to get used to with Kajabi is they truly will not send you an email. Like this morning, I sent an email out that I had a new blog post that came out, and I look at the stats every time it comes back, and there was an email address that bounced on there. And so I immediately tick off that person's email's not working anymore. So I opt out and I tag them that they bounced and I unsubscribe them. They're still in there if I were want to talk to them one on one, but something happened. So I'm going to protect my reputation
Mhm.
and my email sending because I don't want to keep hitting somebody like that and keeps, just pretending like it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
And so, that's what I do when I go to send things, and that's kind of the habit you have to start.
And we
Okay.
hope these live streams are helpful to you on the Kajabi platform, but I also think they're helpful overall for strategy for business. So
Absolutely.
we are here to give value. That is our purpose for being here. We are not able to come like at regular intervals, we'll call that, because of life and business. We choose our lives first and our businesses, to support those lives. But we do hope that these are bringing value to you. So if you haven't already subscribed, be sure and subscribe and hit the bell so you know when we're going live. Denise, I think let's share about the 30-day free trial, and then I
Idea.
think we can wrap this up pretty quickly.
Well, I think we'll keep it brief because it's a topic that you need to think about. How's that?
There you go.
So
So
here's the My Sexy Business website, the homepage, right? MySexyBusiness.com. If you go to the tile in the center here, website royalty is going to give you that is the name of the bonus that you receive if you sign up using the My Sexy Business affiliate link, website royalty. And then we go to the website royalty page and it describes it's a community, right, Kim? It's a community of support for you as a Kajabi user that you will receive a 1-year subscription to. If you use the affiliate link to sign up, you get to come once a week to a a live session and ask questions in a feed within the community off times. We'll do our best to answer as quickly as we can. And we get to address the things that you need as an individual as you're building your things, because there's so many things to do in Kajabi. We don't want you to have to wait a month to learn everything till you get to do the thing that you need to do. So that's part of the beauty of website royalty. Anyway, here's how you do it. Come down here, and here is the start my 30-day free trial. This button will take you over to Kajabi where you could sign up for a 30-day free trial. Once you do that, you could then send an email to this email address that tells you what to do here, and we'll get you into the website royalty community, send you instructions how to log in, and you'll get to check it out. This is where you pick up, Kim.
Well, it's just we have a big community, and inside that community is a paid space, and that is the website royalty part. But we are giving the bonus of a year of website royalty admission, we'll call it. You get to be included in that if you use our affiliate link. I also don't want to exclude anyone who's already on Kajabi and they're still trying to figure things out, or they just want that extra up level of support, because Kajabi does a great job of support. They do, but they don't have time to one-on-one like we have time to one-on-one with everybody, or
Right.
one-on group.
Right.
Most of our website royalty sessions are a handful of
Mhm.
people. It's not large groups, so you do get your questions answered. If you come into that space, this is one of my favorite ways people use it. If you come into that space to work on something specifically, so that you're right there with us and can ask a question if you get stuck, you can make a lot of traction with what you're trying to do.
Mhm.
Kajabi's easy. I'm going to tell you out loud, you can figure out all of it's figure outable, all of it. We just want to shorten the learning curve, because if you are in business to make an impact, and if you're in business to make an income so you can make a bigger impact, we want to be there to support you, because that's how we are.
Right.
We love helping, and we love the excitement of seeing someone grow in their business. And I think Kajabi can be a game changer. I think it can be something to build a long-term business on.
Absolutely. And because it includes so many features, there's a possibility of overwhelm
Mm,
because you're not indecision, paralysis, analysis, because you're just, "Well, where do I start? What do I do first?" And
mhm.
yes, there's Kajabi help documents, and you can do searches on video platforms to find aids. But we all know that that can take a little bit more time, and you might get information you don't need at the time, and you might have to dig deeper, and how much time that can take. And that's a very costly endeavor because it can lead to confusion and exhaustion. So we're at a place where we're trying to simplify your onboarding to the platform, as well as get you moving forward to where you need to go. So you can actually start. The beauty of this too is you could start for a free 30 days with Kajabi, and website royalty is free. So you can operate for a full 30 days without spending a dime, which we think is just who wouldn't love that, you know? Check it out before you buy. We believe in that. So we think this is the best option out there. There are other offers sometimes that Kajabi lets us share with people. If we have one of those, we'll make sure we tell you about it. But for this moment, we like the 30 days free because you're not putting anything out there. You're not locked into anything in the future right away without making your choices. So, anyway,
We want you to invest in you and your business and get locked into that.
right.
Because if you build a business, and this is what we stand for, we believe in building sexy businesses, which you own and don't own you. I have been owned by businesses where I didn't have a life, and that is no way to live. There's such a better way. And I feel like Kajabi's part of that. Kajabi is part of the reason that I am not owned by my business. My things work while I'm doing something else. And I think that's an important part of building a business the right way, is making sure that you strategically set it up so you still have a life.
That's what we're all looking for, right?
That's right.
We're really not working to work. We're working to live, right?
So we hope you enjoyed today. Hit the subscribe. We'll see you next week. We can't guarantee what day or what time, but we will be coming out with more of these. If you do have a question, drop it so that we can see if there's something we can speed up on the list. We've got a long list of things we're trying to cover piece by piece, but if you have something that you see that you really need more information, we've got podcast episodes out there. You can find them on the website page. We've got blogs out there talking about Kajabi. But do come, and if you need a conversation with us, I'll say, let us know, because
Reach out.
we're open to that as well. This is an
Yeah.
important day, an important season in your life. This is an important place. If you are building your business, we want to say we're proud of you, because it is not for the faint of heart, and this is just one more way to build it in the right way. So we'll see you the next time we go live.
Thank you for listening.
Love y'all.
Bye.